hump day. Hey. That's right, get that beat going. Hey. Hey, it's hump day. Hey, it's hump day. Good morning. Grand rising. Hey. And we just trying to have a good day. Hey. 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 Every day is a good day. Hey. 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 Every day is a good day. And we just trying to have a good day. Hey. Hey. Hey, today gonna be a good day. Hey. 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 And I'm just trying to have a good day. Hey. Hey. You ever felt like that? You feel like that this morning? It's like we just trying to have a good day. Hey. 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 We just trying to have a good day. Hey. Good morning. What's up, y'all? It's hump day. Hey. 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 Who trying to have a good day? Hey. 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 And every day is a good day. Hey. 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 Good morning, y'all. If you're new here, welcome to our live. We are elemental beings. Coming through every morning with a live for you guys. Trying to get your morning right. We just trying to have a good day. Hey. 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 Every day is a good day. Hey. 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 And we just trying to have a good day. Hey. Y'all know what be going on. Cause they working with the moon and we working with the sun. Stuck up in our groove, got the demon on our run. Let's go, tribe. Hey. Cause they working with the moon, but we working with the sun. Stuck up in our groove, got the demon on the run. Let's go, tribe. Hey. And we just trying to have a good day. Hey. 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 Today is a good day. Hey. 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 Everything is okay now. Hey.
Okay, let's get into it.
Hey.
Everything is okay now.
Sometimes you just gotta know, like, no matter what's going on in life, everything is okay now. Hey. Hey. Everything is okay now. We had to get it together. Hey. Every day we gotta pray now. Hey. We don't believe everything that we see. And life's your own little playground. Hey. Down the slide and back to your feet. the tricks now. Hey. Hey. We don't forgive but forgive now. We don't forgive but forgive now. Hey. You ain't gotta forget, but you do gotta forgive. Right? Hey. Make it to the other side. Hey. Make it for the other side. Hey. I'm hearing voices from the other side. Hey. I'm hearing voices from the other side. Hey. Lord, keep me humble, keep me on my pride. Hey. Not trying to tap into my shadow side. Hey. I got this light and it's gonna have to shine. Yeah. This little light of mine. Hey. I made a promise I would be kind. I love the universe like it's mine. Yeah. Mother Gaia. Never deny ya. Never try ya. We love you. Hey. Hey. And I'm feeling so good inside. Hey. Hey. I'm feeling so good inside. Hey. It feels good just to be alive. Hey. It feels good just to be alive. Hey. I'm hearing voices from the other side. Hey. Connect the dots and pieces to my life. Hey. I'm hearing voices from the other side. Hey. Proverbs 31. Show you how to be a wife. Y'all know, we just be out here sun gazing. We got the drum blazing, air and fire. Baby, we made it. Hey, yang, I'm yin. This is so amazing. Hey. Hey. And it feels so good inside. Hey. It feels good just to be alive. Hey. Story of my past life. Hey. This is a story of my past life. Let me tell y'all, one time I went to therapy, right? And my therapist told me, she was like, you still got the little girl inside who fought for her own life. Hey, she had to fight for her own life. Hey, now she's standing on the other side. Yeah, the little girl's on the other side. Yeah, this is the story of my past life. I'm hearing voices from the other side. Lord, keep me humble, keep me on my pride. Hey, I try to tap into my shadow side. Hey, I got this light and it's gonna have to shine. Yeah, it's like this little light of mine. Hey, made a promise I would be kind. Hey, I love the universe like it's mine. I got this light and it's gonna have to shine. Hey, I got this light and it's gonna have to shine. You might remember, it's like this little light of mine. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. Go. I'm feeling so good inside. I can't deny. I got this light and it's gonna have to shine. Yeah, I got this light and it's gonna have to shine. This little light of mine. Hey, I'm hearing voices from the side. Lord, keep me on my pride. Not trying to tap into my shadow side. I got this light and it's gonna have to shine. Yeah, this little light of mine. Hey, hey. Alright, y'all, where y'all at? Where y'all from? What's your zodiac sign? Hey. 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 Where y'all at? Who we got in the building? Let's go. Hey. What's your zodiac sign? Hey. What's your zodiac sign? Hey. 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 I said, what's your zodiac sign? Hey. Hey. Shout out to the Aries. Hey. Shout out to the Aries. Hey. What's up, Taurus? Hey. Shout out to the Taurus. Hey. I said, what's your zodiac sign? Hey. Go Gemini. Hey. Shout out to the Geminis. Hey. Go Cancer. Hey. Hey. So we looking for them Cancers. Hey. Go Cancer. Hey. Shout out to the Leos. Hey. Shout out to the Leos. Hey. I said, what's your zodiac sign? Hey. What's your zodiac sign? Hey. Then you got Virgo. Hey. Shout out to the Virgos. Hey. Go Virgo. Hey. Go Virgo. Next we got Libra. Hey. Happy birthday to the Libras. Hey. Hey. Happy birthday to the Libras. Hey. Hey. Y'all know I love a Libra. Hey. Hey. Shout out to the Libras. Hey. Happy birthday, Libra. Hey. What's up, Scorpio? Oh. What's up, Scorpio? Hey. Sagittarius. Hey. What's up, Saggy? Hey. Don't be acting sassy. Hey. What's up, Saggy? Hey. Capricorn, Aquarius. Hey. Aquarius and Capricorn. Hey. Hey, Pisces. Hey. Shout out to the Pisces.
Hey. Hey.
Good morning, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. In positive energy, attracting the life you desire because it's your birthright. Coming through with another live for you guys. Take the message how it resonates in your life. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't forget, if you love the video, to run the video up, share the video out. Okay? I'm speaking a divine language. That's what I'm speaking. Do you understand the words that is coming out of my mouth? It's divine. You probably don't understand that. Demons don't understand my language. Hey, y'all.
Hello, hello. How are you doing
What
today?
you speaking? I'm speaking divine.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Grand rising. Your man start dancing. That's right.
Hey.
Y'all about the Jodeci on them again?
You heard me.
I seen y'all on the call on a Jodeci tip, right?
You heard me.
Remind me of myself. Who am I? We'll never fall apart. We were tripping off, y'all. You heard me. That was it.
I love love. I'm a sucker for love. Okay.
So y'all, how y'all doing? I pray everyone is in good spirits. And I got a download. And this download, right, I'm not even going to talk about my dream state right now. Because I stand in reason that the average person probably couldn't even withstand what I go through in my dreams. It'd be crazy, right? But I feel like it's a reflection. And what I want to say in this download, y'all, is this. The watchers are watching, right? So you want to be intentional with what you're doing right now. It's a lot of books that speak about the watchers and different things, right? And I don't want to really go into it because this ain't the time for it. But just know that there are forces that are watching you, right? And it's a specific time that we live in right now. So I got a download not too long ago about people being mounted by spirits in the wee hours of the morning, right? And I feel like still, like, just be aware and be intentional about what you're doing so that you don't find yourself in agreement with watcher spirits, right? The watchers are watching. So you go look it up and find out who the watchers are. Every nationality has a history of giants and a history of angelic beings that created those giants. And no matter where you go around the world, they got the history of giants, right? Well, a lot of these spirits of these beings are not around on this realm, so you can't see them, but they are very much still here in spirit, known as the watchers.
My download this morning. So God gave it to me, right? A lot of you guys have been in predicaments where you've always had to explain yourself to people. You know, everybody always questioned everything that you did. So you became, it became a habit to always kind of explain yourself and what's going on and why you feel like what you're doing is right. Well, right now is not the time to explain anything to anyone. Right now, your silence is actually your silence is actually burning out things, those things that were in the background, causing chaos and conflict. Your silence has allowed those things to no longer engulf in flames. Like, you're coming in with your own flames and your silence is burning things down. A lot of you guys are so used to, in the past, fighting, getting out of character. And that's what the enemy loves. And I feel like there's someone here and you've been doing a good job. Your silence is really speaking volumes. Sometimes the most quietest person speaks the loudest in the room, And I feel like that's what's happening with a lot of us now. It's not that we don't see things. It's not that we're not aware of things, because trust me, when you become spiritually aware, your eyes open, but you also understand that everything doesn't need to be spoken on, right? So I feel like, there's a lot of things that are happening in the background that you may not even be aware of, but your silence, by not responding on the posts. When people are making indirect things about you, you might know it, but you're not necessarily going and you're not triggered. You're not responding. You're understanding that some people are just not on your level, and your silence is actually drowning people out. Something like that. Okay. I got the jellyfish showing up this morning, okay? The flow of life. There's something very important about interconnection, with a large whole. A lot of you guys are probably starting to really realize, we've been talking about this a lot on this channel, a lot of the spiritual gifts that you have are not even for you. They are to help other people. And, I feel like maybe at one point we could have been carrying things with resistance, but now I feel like we're more open to challenges, obstacles, embracing, people that even don't have the kind of love that we have for them, we can still love, right? Something about understanding the interconnection with all of us and the flow of life. You could be feeling like you're in a very vulnerable situation or predicament right now, but, vulnerability is needed sometimes.
Definitely.
Okay, so you could be feeling a little bit vulnerable, but I feel like it's not the energy of someone being able to push over on you like they were at one point. I feel like right now it's a solid foundation, you know, something like that. I see the hen here. You know, the hen lays eggs, okay? You know, the hen is a producer. You know, I also remember the book, The Little Red Hen, right? And it reminds me of how the little red hen, she wanted everyone to help her bake this bread, right? And all of her friends, nobody wanted to help her bake the bread. And she went around and she asked everybody that was supposed to be her friend to help her bake the bread. Well, when the bread got in the oven after she made it herself, you know, and everyone could smell the aroma of the bread, everyone was interested in helping with the bread. But at that point, it was too late, you know. So you could be in this situation where you're currently baking up the bread, right? You're currently, you know, moving in a situation. Things are looking better for you. And guess what? Everybody can smell the bread baking. So people are going to be attracted to you, right? Because when the bread is baking, the aroma comes out and people begin to be hungry. So be careful of the energy vampires is what I'm saying. You know, you can have a lot of people, you know, trying to siphon your energy because again, the bread is baking, the aroma is going. You know, evil can smell that you're doing better, right? Why do you think you're tempted so much lately? You know, there's a lot of temptation around us because as you spiritually mature, things come up, right? But stay strong here, okay? I would say be resistant to anything that doesn't, help your purpose, your cause, humanity, okay? I feel like with the jellyfish here, it's just something about gelling together.
Okay, so per usual, I got the Empress. Anybody that's here, I pull this card every morning. So it's here. And it says, take great care, Empress. Nurture yourself, prioritize well-being, and tread gently on your journey ahead. And the footnote says abundance and nurturing. So Spirit is basically reminding you to spend some time loving yourself. Now, this 3-card spread is not as easy as it seems. It seems like that's easy. But it's also just as in reverse in your energy, right? Whoever you may be. And this is centered around a commitment. Now I'm getting 2 readings. One is somebody could be in a relationship where it's a lot of injustice. It could be unfairness, a lack of accountability, guilt, dishonesty, or punishment. That could be in your energy, right? It doesn't have to be a relationship. This could also be you, right? As an individual person. You could be struggling with your unfairness or your lack of accountability. Don't pretend like we don't struggle with it because we all do. We gotta learn how to take accountability. Don't nobody want to take accountability. It's just your natural instinct to take accountability. I don't think so, right? I think that we learn how to become accountable. And this is commitment, right? Commit to the next stage in your development and there will be a promise fulfilled in some form. So it's definitely a lack of commitment with this justice. And I feel like if you put your hand to the plow and look back, it makes you unfit. Like the Bible says, the person that put their hand to the plow and look back is unfit for the kingdom. So whatever you're doing, it requires your full-scale commitment. You know, at the beginning of this download, I said it's time for us to be intentional because the watchers are watching. Back to that. Like negative influences waiting to get in your business, right? You start something, but you don't have commitment about it. Oh, you gonna get that test immediately. You're gonna be tested early if your commitment is wavering. So somebody, you know, be committed to what you're doing and take accountability for your actions and be fair in your dealings. Nothing is one-sided. Not in friendships, business relationships, and then love affairs. Nothing is one-sided. Nobody's point of view wins the ranking, right? Then you got Ace of Cups in reverse to the Grove of Unity. Emotional loss and blocked creativity. emptiness, self-love, and repressed emotions. And it says bind energies in the unified sanctuary of the grove. So basically what Spirit is basically saying is release some of that energy. Get outside. Look at all this grass. Get outside in the grove. Put your feet down. Make a prayer outside or something. Ground yourself. Learn how to take off the soles of your shoes, because you know we walk around with soles on our feet all day. We wake up, we put soles on. We come home, we walk around with soles in the house, and we take them off and go to bed. So somebody, you could not be spending enough time with your actual feet on the ground. And when we don't do that, you get built up energies inside of you. So standing on the ground, intentional purposes, you can release and receive. Get a flow of energy going through there. Because it says emotional loss block creativity, and then Spirit says, okay, grove of unity. Bind those energies in the unified sanctuary of the grove. The unified sanctuary. Like when you stand on grass, and that's unified, like all us together. A sanctuary that's unified. So I feel like somebody definitely being called to ground, to release some pent up energy in you.
We got number 111 out here for you. I was looking at the mice. Okay? You know, the mice is all about like harmful behavior, travel, destructive tendencies, quick thinking, and flexible. Okay? We got honesty showing up with 111. Okay? Life goals, mission, sense of self, honesty, and important projects. We also got Archangel Michael showing up with you can do it. And we have time, waiting, cycles, and moments. I feel like someone needs to be honest right now in real time with self. You can do it, you know? It was hard for me to be honest with myself at one point. So, you know, I'm speaking from experience. But, you know, when I was able to be my authentic, true self, you know, not really dumbing myself down for people, you know, being confident in what I know and what I'm here to do, it made life a lot easier for me. We got time. You could be feeling like, I don't know, you're stuck in time, but time is an illusion, you know? It's made up. Back in the day, they didn't have clocks. You know, they used the sun and the moon. Time is an illusion. We got honesty showing up, and it says it's that time of intense self-development. Focus your mind on your craft. You already have what you need. You already have what it takes to succeed. But practice makes you a master. It also serves to find a true purpose. Leveling up in your career or business is a priority right now. So you're leveling up, okay? I feel like this is spiritually, mentally, and physically. You know, I was saying this morning that, you know, we are so spiritually rich. I feel like I have hit the spiritual jackpot, right? And, you know, maybe you're not realizing that you have too. It's something about being honest with yourself here, you know. You could be focused on everything except for self, and I feel like right now is time for you to focus on self. Archangel Michael showing up, you know. Archangel Michael is a chief protector, defender, right, kind of energy. And I feel like it's very important for you to protect yourself and your honesty and your authenticity, something like that. You could be needing to make new goals right now. You know, maybe someone doesn't have your priorities, right? I'm hearing priorities, right? Maybe you need to prioritize things, right? Put things of importance first, you know. Maybe someone doesn't know how to prioritize, right? Something like that. This could be something you need to work on. But we got important projects. There's something very important happening right now. And I feel like it's a project within self. You know, I feel like someone's literally having to go into parts of themselves that they don't want to deal with, and it can be hard. You know, those things about us that we don't really like, we don't really want anybody to see. We don't really necessarily want to fix them, and we don't necessarily want to even address that they're there. But these things could be coming up right now, which could be making you feel very vulnerable. Remember I was saying with the jellyfish? But with Archangel Michael here, you can do it. You can tap into your authenticity. Something like that. I feel like with the mice here, you know, harmful behavior, not being authentically you is a bad behavior, you know. It's harmful to self. You ever had to like dumb yourself down? You ever dumbed yourself down for someone? I have, right? And then you just don't feel right, you know? It's like, how can I have all this energy and I got to keep it balled up like that? That's not me, you know? That's not who I am. And so being honest with myself was living in my authentic truth and being exactly who God made me to be, right? Something like that. Okay, we got honesty out here. 111. Okay, trip ones could be very significant today. It's time. Okay, something about the clock is very important. Okay, I don't know if you're a person that keeps watching the time, the watch, or whatever like that, but time is an illusion. You know, you could be rushing yourself trying to get to a place at a certain time, but everything happens in divine time, right? No matter what I want, when I want something to happen, no matter when you want something to happen, things happen according to divine order.
You got the Hermit in reverse to the Queen of Wands in reverse to the Temperance upright, right? Somebody, you need to find balance. The Hermit in reverse, I'm going to be honest with you, we not as powerful as we think we are, right? I'm going to say that going because I sometimes need a reminder of that. I don't know about other people, but the Hermit in reverse to the Queen of Wands in reverse is, first of all, it is seeing a thing the wrong way, right? Withdrawn, lost your way is the footnote. And then you have the Queen of Wands in reverse, which is a card of, it's like a selfish energy. The Hermit in reverse to the Queen of Wands in reverse is a self-centered energy. I won't necessarily say selfish, but that's the inability to see things other people way. Like you get so prefixed on something being your way that you literally go in the wrong in the universe because you won't let go. You won't say, okay, well, maybe I'm wrong. Or, okay, maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. Failure to do those things, they lead to us being in reverse. And sometimes we don't even know it. You do have the Temperance out here, which means balance is there if you're willing to attain it. First of all, attaining this temperance from the Hermit in reverse, first it takes evaluation of self. A person got to be like, yo, I'm in my head the wrong way. Somebody, you got to look at it and be like, adjustments have to be made to the way that I'm seeing things because it's causing me to be in reverse when balance is attainable. Meaning like, you got Temperance out here, you got the Hermit in reverse. That's a matter of perception. Are you going to remain in your mind the wrong way, or are you going to be able to shift into the Temperance where it's balance, harmony, moderation, patience? Patience being big. Because you know one thing I learned about me, I'm going to speak about me. As I went throughout life, I learned that I needed way more patience than I was willing to give other people. I used to be so hard on other people, but then had a nerve to really pray for God to give me another chance, but I'm impatient, right? So somebody find patience, temperance, and find meaning. Flame of courage, flames of passion, cutting edge. This is fire sign energy, right? You got the wands, you got the temperance, you got flames, So you could be a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, right? And I'm here to tell you that you have the ability to walk in the arcana of the temperance, right? You got the passion to do it. You got the courage to do it. It says it right here. It's all a matter of perception in this read. Cutting edge. I'm going to read the footnote to cutting edge, because this is you. Slice through obstacles and carve a path towards your dreams. I feel like somebody's main obstacle is self. Carve through that own mind of yours. Like, get out of that mind the wrong way. Make a path through your thoughts. Find temperance. It's out here for you.
Hi, we're from Baltimore. I heard the name Daphne, Teresa, Genesis, Shannon, Dennis, Stephanie, Garlic Bread, and Gregory. I got clarity showing up here. Truth, intentions, honesty, courage. Okay? I also have the Six of Cups showing up. There's someone, I'm proud of you. Okay? I like this. There's someone going and they're dealing with their childhood traumas and triggers. Okay? Someone's doing shadow work here. They're going back down memory. I'm going back down memory lane. Yeah, that's what I just heard. I just heard, I'm going back down memory lane. Yeah, something like that. Clarity, truth, intentions, honesty. So I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. There's someone and you're dealing with things from your past, things that could have had you. Yes, garlic bread. I know that was random, right? But yeah, someone's definitely going back down memory lane. You know, someone's dealing with the things that hurt them as a child. I don't know if you could be in therapy, okay? You could just be really tapped into the divine. You could be really just reading books. You could be studying, gaining more knowledge. You know, there's someone really working on the inside of themselves, right? And it's showing up. You know, it's not something that you have to talk about. It's not something that you have to brag on. When people see you, it's showing up because it spills out of you, you know, something like that. I feel like there's someone definitely dealing with these traumas, you know, from a long time ago. Someone's sitting here and, you know, there's a person, you got tired of being tired, you know. You got tired of, you know, things triggering you from when you were 5 years old, when you were 7 years old. And I feel like someone literally took a trip. Like, you know, I feel like, I don't know, like someone time traveled back to their childhood. And I see someone sitting with themselves as a child, right? And asking themselves questions. I also see someone, you know, there's a man and I see you looking at your younger self. And I see you like patting yourself on the back because you are so proud of how far you have come. You know, I'm hearing you were supposed to be, somebody tried to take you out, literally. Okay? You could be a man that has survived some kind of major injury, wound, near-death experience or something like that. And the divine has kept you time after time after time again. It reminds me of Terrence Bud Crawford. And, you know, I believe he was shot in his head or something like that. And now he's like, you know, look where he is now. So it's something like that. Someone has a similar story. Now, you may not be a boxer, right? But whatever you do, you have a testimony because God has showed you time after, you know, I'm hearing some people think you even have 9 lives like a cat. Something like that. Because there's someone in this live and it's like you have been through so many experiences in life and you just keep coming back and you just keep showing up and remaining resilient. Kudos to you. Okay, for being courageous. You know, it takes a lot to really go back down memory lane and sit in those places where you were hurt, you know, where you may have been touched by people that were supposed to protect you, you know, where you remember those hurtful things that were said to you because, you know, they lied to us when they said sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt. That's a damn lie. You know, I'm one of those people I can take a hard hit. So, you know, it's the words for me, right? So that's why I made a promise to try to give kind words to people, right? Because I know that my words do uplift someone. There may be someone that says, what language are you speaking? But there's another person like that language goes right with my spirit, right? So something like that, you know? There's a lot of clarity here. You know, someone's also understanding that, you know, it was not my fault. Some of these things that happened to me as a child. However, as I became an adult, I allowed the generational curses to use me, and I'm no longer allowing this to happen anymore. And I have clarity and I have truth. And moving forward, you know, I am going to take accountability, keep my head up high, and I'm walking forward. Something like that. Kudos to you. Okay? I don't know if you ran into someone from your past. There could be, you know, you could definitely have had a dream about someone from your past. You could have gotten a lot of clarity and truth. You could really know what someone's true intentions are through your dream state, is what Spirit is telling me. Okay? Something like that. You know, you could have woke up very foggy, but, you know, it's clear what's going on in the dream state. You know, a lot of you guys have these vivid dreams and you're like, I don't know what they mean. But Spirit says if you take a moment and you really think, it gives you clarity. You know exactly what the dreams are telling you. You don't have to look from an outside source. God is giving you direction, something like that. Now, there's something significant about sound bowls here. I don't know if you own sound bowls, if you enjoy listening to sound bowls as you sleep, but there's something very significant about sound here. So I want to go, and before I go and let my husband jump in, I want to remember, I remember the Morning Star was like, Morning Star was known, to play instruments, musical, very attractive musical kind of energy, right? Before Morning Star took a fall from grace, right?
Who was Morning Star? Who was Morning
The
Star?
Morning Star,
Oh, okay.
Satan,
Son of the morning.
son of the morning. They called him the Morning Star in the book. So anyway. Yeah. A lot of you guys need to watch the music that you're listening to is my point. I know me. I'm one of those people, I love trap music. I'm addicted to it, right? I grew up in Baltimore, so all I know is trap music. But I also noticed that when I listen to trap music, I'm ready to go fight. I'm ready to turn up. We can go to I'm ready to do whatever. Like I'm in that spirit of I'm down for whatever, right? So I know me in my mind and where I'm going, I have to listen to things that are high vibrational in order for me to stay on track. I can't go around and listening to if it's up, because I'm gonna be ready to fight. That's me. So I know my own energy. I have to listen to things that calm my spirit down because I'm already hyped, right? So this could be you too. You could be a person like me where you already have a hyped spirit, and maybe you don't realize the things that you're listening to are sometimes lifting you up even more to do the wrong thing. Because, music is very influential, right? And if you keep listening to things about girl fights and boy fights, you're probably going to end up there. And that's not conducive to where you're trying to go.
I ain't gonna lie, like the readings that I'm getting and the energy that I'm feeling back, I'll say this. We serious about our life. It's up to you to be serious about yours. Like, because you don't want to be caught out here off guard, jokey, laughy all the time. Like, you want to be serious about your life and what's going on in your life with your spirituality. What's the energy behind a lot of people's sickness, right? Because I realize there's a lot of people out here that don't realize your affliction is coming from a spiritual ailment. So there's no time to really play about life. Like, it's a time to be serious about life. I would.
That's when the doctor like
I don't know
what's wrong with you, right?
Some people go to the doctor and don't know what's wrong because the affliction is spiritual.
It's spiritual.
Right? So, whoa. Whoa, only thing I can say. Now, these energies, I'm reading them because they land here, right? You got the Lovers in reverse, and it's being justified by a cavern of secrets. So, I'm going to use 2 scenarios with this Lovers in reverse because this could be you playing games with yourself, right? The Lovers in reverse to the cavern of secrets, it could be the energy of you knowing that it's a problem, but you just ignoring that it's a problem. You're just going to keep moving without addressing the problem, right? It says disharmony, misalignment of values, imbalance, indecision, detachment, bad choices, and fear of commitment, cavern of secrets. And in a relationship, I'll pose this question. If you in an affair with somebody or a relationship with somebody, and you have all these secret things inside of you, if you're dealing with anybody that has any type of spiritual enlightenment or intuition, they're going to be able to read your cavern of secrets. Like the things that you hold inside, that can turn your relationship in reverse or something in reverse, because something is turning a lover's card in reverse. And it says indecision and misalignment and disharmony. And now you got the King of Pentacles to study as you go. So I'm feeling like this is a masculine energy who's you could be moving out. Like I'm actually seeing a person leaving out the house to go to work. The King of Pentacles is a worker. And this masculine, you could be leaving your house to go to work, and maybe you leaving, maybe you having arguments before you leave out. Maybe it's something in the home that you feel is a secret to you. Maybe you feel like, I seen unfairness. So I don't know, but Spirit says, whoever you are, study as you go. So maybe this calls for you to just keep moving through it. One thing we can't do, we can't walk away from our commitments just because we suspect things, right? Not a wise move. So maybe somebody's being called to really see past how you feel, because I'm literally seeing somebody arguing and then having to go to work and leaving out and like maybe taking that energy to work,
That's the worst.
You know what I'm saying? And then we got the Two of Pentacles in reverse to new heights. The Two of Pentacles in reverse is an energetic card. Overcommitment, impatience, disorganized, reprioritize, lack of balance, overwhelm, even gambling, recklessness, frustration, new heights. Somebody's tired. Somebody is about to. I feel like somebody
it's getting hard, Lord.
Somebody is in the energy where I can't keep this up much longer.
These spirits out to
I need a change, right? I don't know if this is you with yourself or this is you in a relationship, but somebody's tired of being tired. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've been tired of myself before.
I'm so sick of being lonely.
Let's be real. I mean, if you never got to the place where you was tired of your own self, what's your testimony look like? Honestly. Like, if you never looked in that mirror of life and been like, man, I really don't like what I'm seeing right now. I'm like really tired of what I'm seeing. I'm about to make a change, right? That's the energy that I feel somebody's in. So commit to making a change. Follow through with it. That's what I tell the young boys when I teach them how to shoot jumpers. I always teach them, because a lot of them, they like to throw the ball up. I teach them, follow through with your wrist. You got to follow through.
I wrote that down. I think that was Corinne. I'm going to check that out, Corinne. I think you said bluegrass music, and you said it's called Grateful Dead. I'm going to listen. We're going to listen to that after that, so thank you.
I'm not listening to the Grateful Dead.
What is it, bluegrass music?
That's, the Grateful Dead is a rock band. I'm not too, really not too fond of it.
Okay, well, I didn't know.
Woo, Spirit is here. Confirmation, y'all. Bluegrass music, I heard is good music, though. But the Grateful Dead, I heard is a song. Oh, that's a song? I think bluegrass is a genre of music, too.
So, yeah, I'm going to check that out.
But the Grateful Dead is a rock band. I don't really care too much for them.
I heard the name Jordan, Gabrielle, Stanley, Tracy, Harvey, Cora, Steven, and Adrian. This could be your name or significant.
Cora.
I got chemistry out here. We got regret coming out in the reverse. I got quad 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 with forgiveness. And I got the bear showing up with protection. So you are your family's protection. They may not understand. Some of them may understand. You are the generational curse breaker. You may even have called yourself the black sheep, the ugly duckling, whatever you called yourself. This is who you are. You are your family's protection. There are certain people that God sends here to break the curses off of bloodlines, and that's what's happening here. You are the generational blood. You are the generational curse breaker. You have been shedding blood, sweat, and tears to do what you're doing. So give yourself a pat on the back here. We got regret in the reverse. I'm talking to somebody that's very mature. I know you're mature because I can feel your energy. I feel like I'm talking to a person like me, where you have so much fire in you. I don't know if you're a fire sign or whatever, but you have so much fire. You have you could be the comeback queen or the comeback king, right? But nowadays, you just don't even use your energy for that shit. You literally don't use your energy to entertain negativity. You literally don't use your energy to entertain things that are not getting you paid, things that are not elevating your life. Because I see, I noticed that a lot of the weak people, WEAK, the weak people, they're very loud right now, and you could be very quiet, because I feel like when you're in the forgiving energy, it's quiet. People could be thinking they're getting over on you, they got one up on you. Yeah, I just did this, because people love to flex and think that, just because you don't respond to things or you don't say anything, that they have one up on you. But what they don't understand is in the background, they put a hex on their own life. Because I'm watching a lot of people don't realize they have been hexed. And, they're living in a hex right now, And it's not that anyone put a hex on them. They did the shit to themselves, let's be honest. A lot of people went out here and they did things in the dark. Yep. A lot of people did things that they weren't supposed to do. A lot of people heard the voice of God speaking to them and they went against it, and they did spell work on people that were God's chosen, and now you are watching them live out in a hex. A lot of people feel like they're in a glass globe right now. They feel stuck, they feel trapped because of the things that they did. So forgiveness, I'm glad you are being forgiven, because that's the main thing. While you are watching people behind this glass, because that's what I'm saying, a lot of people feel trapped. It's like they're free, but they really feel like they're behind a glass wall because of the shit that they did. They think nobody knows. But if you look carefully, you can see, right? You don't have to say anything, but forgiveness is here. So regret is in the reverse. There's someone, you decided to forgive someone that did some crazy something to you. Somebody that did something that you did not deserve. Somebody did something to you because they were jealous. Someone did something because they were envious of the way you were moving. And it's not that you have more than them, because I'm talking about people that have more material than you, but it's your spiritual deposits that they can't quite understand. They can't understand how it is that I keep throwing all this magic, all these negative words towards this person, and God just keeps on leveling you up. Something about that, right? Because we got regret in the reverse. You forgave someone and you do not regret doing this. Why? Because you understand that the key to forgiveness is to forgive. Hello?
Chemistry.
Okay? We got regret in the reverse. I know that I cannot change the past, and that's why you don't regret anything about the past. You don't regret giving out your love. You don't regret showing love to people that genuinely don't love you. That's my favorite thing to do. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love showing love to people that I know they do not like me, because my love is genuine. And when they have to be fake towards me, that puts them out of alignment, right? That puts them out of alignment because I'm being real. So then they have to deal with the karma they have to deal with because I'm genuine. I love everybody, right? So, that's a good one for me. I love loving people that I know they really don't like me, right? Because I know if I keep loving them properly, from a distance, because I got boundaries, right? But if I keep sending out love into the universe, I'm going to get that back. And that hate that they have for me that's boiling up is eventually going to boil over and burn their skin, right? Something like that. Someone can have a burn on their skin. Okay? We got chemistry, attraction, spark, and passion. I don't know, there could have been chemistry with someone at one point, and then they did something where, it's just like, I forgive you, bro, sis, but you just can't be over here anymore. Something like that. We got self-awareness, forgiveness, professionalism, empathy, tenacity, and freedom. Yeah, you're very tenacious. You don't give up. That's what people want. They hate your tenacity. You're so tenacious. You're the type of person that you cannot stop. You won't give up. You're going to keep trying, and people don't like that. They're like, I threw a hex at this person, and they didn't turn into a donkey? Because, they love playing in voodoo nowadays, right, child? Okay? It says, let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges, express your emotions, and aim towards a compromise. Where there's a lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. The truth will set you free. So yeah, your truth is setting you free, right? Because some of you guys even call people out, like, I know what you did to me. And they're like, no, I ain't do nothing to you. Nobody do that stuff. Nobody even do that, right? The whole time you're watching people, and the karma has showed up. It's knocking on folks' door, And now people feel trapped in the things that they have done. So just be kind, be forgiving, be loving, keep smiling, right? Just keep smiling, keep loving. Because again, remember, If you keep giving out love, that pot is eventually going to boil over and they will burn their own skin.
We got a lot of fire sign energy out here. I keep getting fire sign energy, right? So you could be a Sagittarius. This is a masculine. Leo, Sag, Aries, right? Knight of Wands.
Heavy on a Leo.
And I was about to say Leo. This is a Sag card, but I feel Leo, right?
The Lion.
Listen, Spirit says go your own way. Masculine, right? And I'm speaking to a Leo man, right? Maybe you spent a lot of your life going with the flow of others. Maybe you let people charter your course. Spirit says go your own way, right? Trust your intuition and embrace individuality, paving your path with courage and authenticity. It's time for somebody to step into a role of leadership, even if it's no more than leading your own life, right? And you could be a feminine, you don't have to be. You could be a woman in masculine energy, but I really feel like this is a man. I'm gonna be honest, like, I feel like this is a man. Knight of Wands to the Chariot. Chariot being justified by highest good. Footnote, movement, progress, action, integration, and determination. Will, somebody, you being called to move.
A higher
You being called to move, not only in the physical. This ain't a physical movement. This says integration, action, progress, determination, and willpower. You being called to move your perception. You being called to move into your power, so to speak. I don't like to use cliche phrases because everybody use them, but somebody, you being called to move. Integration means balancing your light side with your dark side. So that means definitely changing your perception of you know, maybe you were programmed a certain kind of way, and maybe you being called away from it, right? Maybe you being called away. Sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with you. When you in a situation, Leo masculine, people will benefit from you. They will absorb your power, and those same people, right, if they not foundational good people, they will look at you and act like you did nothing for them at all. Like, and this is why Spirit is calling you to move away from that energy towards your highest good. Integrate your light and your darkness. You don't have to stand in place and take that from people, family, whoever it may be, right? And then you got Seven of Wands to the stop and reflect. So you know what that's telling me? Like, Seven of Wands is a card of defense. Stop and reflect. It's definitely you being called to change your positioning. Change your positioning. I feel like it's a Leo masculine out here, right? Doesn't have to be. But in my clairs, I feel like it's a Leo masculine. And honestly, you need to pause in your journey, learn to appreciate how far you have come and where you are headed. Get away from the naysayers. If a person can't, you know, because I've been in that situation where, you know, you feel your life force being drained, but yet you feel like you're being taken for granted. That's a juxtapose. That's a situation that you got to get out of. You got to move away from those kind of things. Seven of Wands means you have to be in a mode of defending who you are. You got, it says challenge, competition, protection, perseverance, defense. It's not a game. I know people laugh and joke and want something to tickle your ears. That's not who I am. I'm not about that. I'm going to tell you the truth of the matter. And the truth of the matter is that you need to go your own way. Begin making your own decisions. You begin to shape and mold your own destiny. Not let others do it for you. Because truthfully, don't nobody know what's best for you but you.
I know, it's crazy. I was just looking at I be writing all kinds of stuff down. But it's crazy because I was thinking about how, you know, retaliation. It is not good for us to retaliate right now. You know, the angel of the Lord unalived 185,000 soldiers, right? We don't have to be out here fighting these kind of battles, right? You know, it's no point of us trying to fight spiritual battles with our physical body. And I feel like someone needs to understand that. You know, we can't fight a principality with your hands.
You know
right?
what? And a principality it's good that she said principalities, because you know Ephesians say we war not against flesh and blood, but principalities. But principalities manifest into people.
That's right.
So if you, even with a person, like you, it's like when she's saying fighting a principality, let's just say you dealing with a person that got a strong entity attachment. No matter how many words you beat that person with, you can't fight them because they taking, it's something controlling them.
Right.
It's a principality. And you can't fight that, like she said, you can't fight that in an earthly way.
Right.
Those kind of people, you gotta drag.
Because I feel like
Spirit
somebody.
said you gotta drag them down to the altar.
Yeah, because I feel like, I don't know, this Leo, there's a very strong Leo here. You know, this person represents courage, leadership, royalty, wisdom, self-confidence, you know, experience, power, and authority. And maybe, you know, a person is so used to fighting battles, you know, pulling out the blicky, whatever, right? And, you know, I feel like right now it's very important for someone to know it ain't that kind of battle. It's spiritual. We won't win like that. You know, like that's not the battle that we're fighting. We're fighting against things that we can't even see, you know. We're fighting against the things inside of us. We're fighting against those kind of things, you know. So it's very important to understand, you know, even though you are this courageous leader, it's not, you're not going to win that way. Okay? You know? Something like that. So let's see what we got. Go ahead.
No, I'm not even finished.
Oh.
I'm just reading this. I need my clarifications.
I got 23 judgment. I expect this. When Archangel Michael came out earlier, he is divine judgment, you know? Judgment. I like that energy. Let's see. Let's get something from the telepathy oracle deck. 23. You could be 23 years old. This could be your Jordan year. Okay? You could be 46. We got embrace. There could be someone turning 46. Embrace that thing. Okay? You know, it's crazy because I watch so many people now that I'm aging. Oh my gosh, I never thought I would age, but I'm okay. I like aging. I'm embracing it. You know, I love being auntie, right? And it's crazy because I see such a war with young and old, dark and light, man and woman. There's so many different wars out here. And I feel like if this is you turning 46 this year, you better embrace it. You know, there's some of these 20-year-olds that won't even make it to 46 years old, you know? So embrace each year that you are given, because someone could be going through something where you're aging, you know? And nobody told me that, you know, this aging thing comes with a whole different... Listen, the woman I was... in my 20s is no longer that woman anymore. You know, I thought I would be this one way, and I'm not that woman anymore. You know, even down to your body changes. You know, everything changes. So I don't know if there's someone going through this young and old war, but if you're the young one, embrace the old. If you're the old one, embrace the young. We all have something to give to each other, something like that. You know, if you look, we have some very gifted young people. What is that? We got one. What's the little young streamer, Kai? You know, very intellectual people. You know, we have a lot of young people out here that can give us knowledge, and then we have wisdom, so we can give wisdom, and it's a fair exchange, no robbery kind of energy, right? But I feel like someone needs to embrace their age. Yeah, your hair could be getting a little bit of grays. Okay, you know.
I don't know why it's like that. You know, when we were young, a lot of people was connected to my age bracket. I don't know if I'm telling my age or not, but when we grew up, we reverenced the older people.
It's a war now.
Like, I'm talking about like the older guys, but see, we came up under a lot. The older guys wasn't having it from us. Like, it wasn't gonna be a lot of disrespect. And I've realized it's different nowadays. Like, a lot of older guys fear the younger guys.
Come on, bro.
When I was young, I was fortunate enough to have older guys that didn't fear us.
Okay.
So it was like, you're not going to be that way.
Well, nowadays you got the kids. They call everybody bruh down to the parents. You gotta be like, who is your bro? What?
They even call girls.
They call everybody's bruh, and you know.
The girls is bro too.
You know, so yeah, and just embrace. You know, aging is beautiful. You know, just like wine. You know, you get better with time, more knowledge. You know, when you can really Love yourself, it gets better. Like, for me, I feel like aging, I get better. Like, I am really at the point where I don't care. Like, there was a point in my life where I cared so much, to fit in somewhere I would never fit. And I didn't understand that. And I wish that was a lesson that I could have learned at a younger age. However, I'm glad I have it right now. And I am so grateful to age, and I'm so grateful to learn from younger people because, my kids teach me something new every day. Every day. They teach me something. So we got embrace. Embrace what fate has in store for you, okay? There's no need to be worried about the future if all you're doing is constantly elevating your life, if you're constantly trying to be better, if you're constantly doing things that are conducive to your growth and positive, then you should be able to embrace whatever fate has for you because whatever you put out is what you get.
Yeah, the kids are definitely turning into adults earlier these
days.
Yeah, that's something I can definitely say. Like, they push the envelope. It's like, I can remember when I was young, it was just certain things that we wouldn't do or we couldn't do. And we knew in our mind, like, I can't do this. But nowadays, we live in a day where the social influence, see, one thing we didn't have is a lot of handheld mobiles. When I was a kid, everything wasn't on an iPhone.
My first phone was a flip.
So, I'm talking about kids as young as 9, they dealing with entity attachments that they getting from their phone. And that's true. Like, you got the kids get the phone. You can punch one wrong letter and you in a porn site. Like, real talk. Like, you can just, it's so prevalent nowadays. And this is why the kids are turning into adults so fast because they being challenged by a system that promotes this in them. Every time they jump online, it's telling them to be older than you really are.
Well, then
do things that adults do.
Look at what they do, even at the school dances, the homecomings. Right? Listen to the music. Listen to the music that they're playing in these different things. And again, we talked about music earlier. If I can bring the music into the school, turn the whole school up, and then send them home with the entities, that's fine. Why? They listen to it at home anyway. What's the difference, right? So it's like that kind of energy. We got Karma 2323. Warning, judgment, influence, power, cycles, changes, and rebirth. Someone's going through a rebirth. Okay? You can be finding out that I was getting ready to say, okay, this is for you, Ebony, because I was getting ready to say this. You could be finding that you have a lot of responsibility. Like, some of these responsibilities shouldn't even be your responsibilities, but you picked them up somewhere along the line and you're handling these things. Okay? It says karma will be paying you a visit. Release the need to control because you cannot force anything. Well, say you can't force things. Learn your lessons so that you don't have to repeat them in the future. Make some space for new experiences. Yeah, we're going through a new lesson. Someone's like, well, I already been through a lot of lessons. Well, it's like we're in the energy of like we're going from high school to college. It's something like that. You could probably even feel your energetic shift. God is probably pushing you to a specific subject because I feel like all of us are being called to specific things, right? So you could be finding yourself really attracted to a certain subject right now, and it is your responsibility to learn it, okay? You may not understand why you're attracted to this. You may not understand why this thing keeps coming up and approaching you, because you keep saying the same thing over and over about your career, about school, about whatever it is. It keeps coming up, and you keep saying, God, is this a sign? And God is like, when are you going to get it? Because sometimes we just want God to be like, hey, child. We want God to come down and be like, hello, my child. This is what I need you to do. Right? So I feel like judgment. Judgment is where you look at yourself, you evaluate self, and you're like, okay, this is what I need to do. You come up with a game plan, and you go ahead and you do it, okay? Because we can't be in repetitive cycles, right?
I refuse to.
I refuse to be in repetitive cycles.
I refuse to be in a cycle.
Okay.
I refuse to be in a repetitive cycle. Even if what I'm going through resembles what I went through, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make
Break
sure it's not
every
the same.
chain.
I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure it's not the same exact cycle, right? Because going through the same exact cycle is no fun. You be 20 years old in the same pew, right? I got the Seven of Cups in reverse, to the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, to the Queen of Swords, right? Now the Seven of Cups in reverse, thrive and believe. Basically, this is a card of clarity. So somebody, you have clarity, you found clarity, you found alignment. There's no illusions in your energy no more. Maybe you had a lot of them. Maybe you're just a person that sat around and just thought about a lot of things. Well, now I see that that's different. And Spirit says, thrive and believe, embrace growth, trust and promise, keep an open mind. Answers reveal the path to fulfillment. So somebody, you just have clarity. So now it's time for you to peel your eyes. Now that you can see, it's time for you to exercise your clarity. Okay? You have full scope. You can see. Nothing is an illusion.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
Then you got Seven of Pentacles in reverse, right? And it says planning phase. So with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, basically, it's showing you probably making bad investments, right? Maybe you have a slight problem with your decision making. And it's not coming down on nobody. I go through some of these things too, a lot of this stuff. Sometimes it's hard to make that decision, especially if you're a Libra like me. You know, I had to turn my indecision into observation. That's what I did. I said, I'm no longer going to be a person that's indecisive because my archetype is indecisive. Libra is an archetype, but we can also turn indecisiveness into observation. And then we make a strong decision. Planning phase. Spirit says, take a step back, plan the necessary steps to move forward so you may turn your goals into a reality. Now that's on you. I mean, you could keep on investing into what you're investing into that's not working if you want to. That's on you. And then you will be doing like Ebonique said, you just be repeating the cycle over and over again. Spirit is saying step back from it.
How many times you gonna wash the same laundry?
And plan necessary steps. Somebody think that they can step out their mess without planning. Maybe that's why you end up back in it.
I'm hearing.
You gotta plan it. You gotta plan. You know what I'm saying? What they say, if you plan to fail, then you fail the plans, or vice versa. Either way, if you fail to plan your way out of it.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance is what my mentor said.
If you fail, if you faith is dead without works.
Period.
Definitely. So somebody, you need to take a step back so that you can grab hold to the right faith.
Okay.
Maybe you don't got the right faith. Like Sis said, it take faith. Some people really be trying to move things that take planning to move. Now you got the Queen of Swords to no illusions. See?
What it say? I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
Somebody, you've been given your sight. There's no illusions. I said that too. I said you got a Seven of Cups in reverse, no illusions. Now what the Queen of Swords is known to do is speak her mind. The Queen of Swords is going to speak out. The Queen of Swords is going to establish balance. The Queen of Swords is unbiased. The Queen of Swords is a reflection of justice. So somebody, you know, it's your duty to find this side of yourself. Nobody says keep going through what you got to go through and not saying nothing about it. That's a cycle too. Somebody don't understand. That's a cycle. You and your ego the wrong way. Keep being in situations where you mad because you can't express what you feel. That's not nobody else's fault. The Queen of Swords gonna find a way to say what she feel, because the Queen of Swords not gonna walk around and hold it in. It's like, listen, there's no illusion. That is an illusion. Thank you, Spirit. When you're a person that walk around and you got hidden secrets in your heart and you're not trying to, you are illusion yourself. You a walking illusion. So think about that.
I was looking at this Six of Cups card here, and I was thinking about, I think it's Jagged Edge. Feels like I just walked down out of heaven. Feels like I done damn near thrown my life away.
Hey.
You know, it's crazy because when I look at this Six of Cups, there could be someone feeling like, literally, feels like that's how the lyrics go. I feel like I just walked out of heaven. I feel like I done damn near thrown my life away. Someone could be feeling like this, okay? Someone could be feeling like they risked something.
The grass wasn't green.
The grass was not greener on the other side. It feels like I just walked out of heaven. It feels like I just damn near thrown my life away.
Somebody on that other side, and the grass is not greener.
I feel like someone could be going down memory lane about you or something like that. Maybe someone felt like you were heaven because you have an angelic kind of feeling,
People, when you that heaven get taken for granted. When God give people, when God give us people in life, and they got a little bit of heaven in them, because we in such a hellish condition, we overlook the heaven. And a lot of times, that's when people feel like they walked out of heaven and they damn near threw their life away, because they simply took for granted what God gave them.
And I know that to be true because I'm not pulling any new cards. I'm just going back through all what we already pulled. And I'm noticing that we have time and regret. Someone regrets the time that they wasted, not being good to you, not being fair with you, something like that. I know that I cannot change. And the crazy part is I cannot change the past. Someone knows that you have let someone come in time and time again, but this time it's like, there's a gate and it has a code and someone access has been denied.
You got a Six of Cups to a time clock. Somebody really want their past back.
Yeah, it's like I want that old thing back.
Somebody want the old thing back. Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, but you can't get that back because someone got tired of waiting. Someone got tired of just, a few good moments. Someone got tired of going through the same cycle over and over and over again.
You know what I just heard Biggie Smalls when he said, "Oh baby, give me one more chance." You got that good stuff, girl. You didn't know.
Someone could live near a Catholic cathedral, where the clock goes off. You could live by one of the churches where the clocks always go off. Okay, something about 1 p.m. could be very significant. That could be, I don't know if you go on lunch break at 1 p.m. I don't know if you need to meditate at 1 p.m., but something significant about 1 p.m. and number 13. Okay? It was very courageous of you to leave a situation. Now, I don't know if you're a Leo or you just have a whole bunch of courage, right? But there's something about a situation that you left. And I feel like with that time that you were in that cycle, it taught you so much. Some of you guys wouldn't be the people you are if you didn't go through the things you went through. It was character building, something like that. And there could be a people, wondering why, people are wondering why you have favor over your life. But what they fail to realize is the time that you spend behind closed doors doing the silent work that nobody sees. They don't see you when you're down in your prayer room, because I'm seeing someone is a very powerful prayer warrior. Your prayers go up in the heavens, and I'm hearing that you even pray for people that don't know how to pray for themselves. And kudos to you, okay, for your courage, being so courageous here. Leo, the lion. Okay.
I don't know, Leo.
You could come off like a little, you could come off like maybe even aggressive, but like I feel like you're the I know a lot of Leos and they can seem very aggressive, but they're, I feel like they're just trying to protect, their territory, I was talking about this the other day. The lion is very significant because in 2005 in Ethiopia, there was a little girl that was kidnapped. You know, they were trying to, you know, maybe molest her or whatever they were trying to do. They kidnapped this 12-year-old girl, and there were 3 lions that protected her until the police came, so that the perpetrators wouldn't be able to take any advances towards her. So something about that, you know, remember that you have ancestors, spirit guides. You have the Most High who protects and guides you. So there could be a lot of people wanting to touch, because I'm hearing touch you, but they can't touch you. Something like that. You're protected. You could definitely come from like a royal bloodline. You could have someone, I don't know if someone has like, I don't know if you have a judge in your bloodline, or somebody, you have someone that is of high value, high significance or something like that. A leader. You could be the leader. And the last one I have is patience. We got the clam coming out. So this is all about finding the beauty within. This is about being patient. This is all about introspection and inner strength. Okay? I don't know if someone gave you pearls when you were a little girl. You can still have these in your jewelry box. Maybe you only pull them out for special occasions. If there's someone that gave you pearls, they're thinking of you. They love you. You might need to put your pearls on just because, you know, it doesn't have to be a special occasion. Put them on to go to the grocery store. Whatever. Put on your best dress to go wherever you want to go. You know, something like that. Someone wants you to feel beautiful again. Handsome again. I'm seeing someone that received something when they were a child, and someone wants you to use that thing that they gave you. Something like that. You know, the clam, if you look, it's closed. It's something about opening up. Okay? You know, patience is a virtue. And I feel like, you know, with time, we are becoming more patient. Okay? Just embrace what life has in store for you.
Somebody, you got a big old masculine. You got a big old masculine spirit guide in your energy. It says the emperor to the valley of shadows. See, this is somebody who watching you from the shadows, right? It's an upright emperor.
Hey,
Aries energy. Could be fire sign, Aries, Leo. There's been a lot of Leo energy out here today. This might as well have been a Leo read. But nevertheless, this emperor is definitely feeling like a powerful spirit guide. Maybe ancestor, father, grandfather, masculine in your energy. Somebody takes interest in you, right? This spirit, because this is a valley of shadows energy. So this is something that you can't really see going on. And I feel like they ushering you towards this 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, making plans. So there's a lot of planning going on in your energy. Could be from you. Like I said, somebody got a very active spirit team. They in the background getting it done. If you believe in that sort of thing, some people like, I don't know what the hell he talking about. But yeah, ancestors are real, and this is how it goes, right? Somebody, you have definitely a grandfather, this emperor. He could have liked gold. Could have had a grandfather. I'm saying an old
Mr.
man
T.
like to wear rings, maybe chains.
Could be my grandfather.
I'm saying a clean cut, well cut old dude. Wear a little hat, you know. Wear a little hat on his head.
David had that ball cap on.
I'm even saying
with
a
them
little
gold
short.
chains.
I'm saying a little shorts, roundabout type of energy. Maybe like 5'9", but wide, you know. Earthy energy, big hands, emperor, grandfather. 9 of Cups, making plans. Definitely you. I feel like you're making plans, and I feel like plans are being made. So it looks good in your energy, whoever you are, right? And then it says the star to the dream weaver. So you definitely have astral traveling abilities. A star to a dream weaver is a person that's astral plane energy.
Be careful there, Dimitri, with your astral energy.
You could be traveling, Right. Demetrius has some dreams over here. So dreaming and imagining bring your powerful vision into reality. Yeah, somebody catching an upgrade in your sleep. I caught a few that way. I like this. I like this. This is somebody you lit, right? You spiritually lit. You understand what I'm saying. You speak this language that I'm saying on the board, right? So continue to honor your ancestors, particularly this masculine that's looking out for somebody. There's somebody pappy out here. He in the shadows. See? He in the shadows. Probably getting visitation in your sleep. You could be going through wars in your sleep also. It's calming a lot of people in the collective going through it. I am.
The choices you make in your sleep are very important, though.
That's
know?
right. You better
like,
fight for
you
it.
know, in your sleep, don't make any agreements. You know, because I just seen someone kissing, right? Now, if you kiss someone in the dream state, that means you have signed and you have touched and agreed. So pay attention to what things are the things that are happening in your dream state. There's a lot of things trying to get you to touch and agree, right?
And if you feel like you gave ground in your dreams, I just went through a war in my sleep last night. I told my wife about it when I woke up. And what I normally do when I go through it, because I always go through dreams where people are trying to get me to do something, take something from them, sleep with them, all type of stuff, right? I'm resistant to it because I live a life that's resistant to it. But sometimes I wake up and I feel like, did I agree to anything? So I make a prayer in the morning.
You woke me up and say, you all right? You feeling all right? Did anything happen?
I make a prayer. I ask for any contracts to be rescinded that I might have unwillingly agreed to, right? I make those prayers and I believe in those prayers. And you should believe in those prayers too, because they help. Them people dark, y'all. They go in the spirit realm and they find spirits that do that kind of work. And those spirits, they just are working on you while you sleep. The person ain't even got to do the work. The spirit come and do the work to you and then report back to the person. That's what they do. They be laying there sometimes for days, right? In trances and all of this, right? I know it to be true. So just continue to fight your astral wars. You got a big old masculine out here protecting you, right? So honor that man, right? Leave out some water for him. Make his favorite food. Leave it out for him or something. Everybody don't got them kind of protectors, y'all.
They feed you, Ebony. They feed you, Ebony. When they feed you grapes, you must be royalty, sis. When is they feeding you in your sleep? It got to be grapes. Okay?
Yeah, some people are very, very dark.
Very dark, you know. It's crazy, you know. Some people's level of darkness, we can't even comprehend because we're too light. You know, the light won't let us comprehend that.
And see,
that level of darkness.
Me, I do have an insight in it, and the only reason why is because I spent a lot of my life in the dark, I'm talking about in earthly darkness, right? So I literally walk in both worlds, right? Light governs my life, but I'm very much an authority that understands darkness, and I'm not frightened by it like a lot of other people. Like, it doesn't frighten me, right? Actually, sometimes I'm interested in knowing how to fight against certain things. Like darkness, I like to learn how do you combat it? How do you fight against it, right? But I recognize it when it shows up because I spent a fair amount of time with it. I spent my fair share of years in dark areas, real dark areas, right? Even had near-death experiences that put me into darker areas, right? So when we go through those type of things, we have a decision to make. When you're exposed to that amount of darkness, you become a powerful light worker if you choose to be. Extreme levels of darkness is the culmination of a very powerful light worker. In fact, thank you, Spirit, the island of Haiti, it was defended during the colonial era. You know who defended the island of Haiti? Priests that could walk in the light and darkness. They had to tap into the darkness to be able to defend the island of Haiti, now known as Haiti. it was San Domingue back then. It was defended by priests that could walk on both sides, right? But they let the light govern them, some of them.
You know, Ebony, it's crazy you said that because my son, we were talking about spaghetti last night, and I was like, something about I was like, my youngest son was telling my oldest son that somebody made spaghetti for somebody. He was like, ew. And I was like, what made you say ew? It was in my spirit, I felt it funny. I was like, you know, because I was listening to him and my spirit just started laughing. And I was like, why you say ill to the spaghetti? What you think, they did something to it, right?
And since we're talking about the spaghetti,
and he was like,
right? Don't let people you don't know feed you the spaghetti, right? It's an old truth is made into folklore, but it's a truth, right? Baneful witches and perhaps warlocks, but I know baneful witches, it was common for them to mix their menstrual fluid and spaghetti and put spell work in the spaghetti and feed it to you, right? So, and you know what? You're right, Ebony. We all have good and evil. I say that because you say that all the time, right? And it's good to remind yourself of that. So kudos to you.
Yes, just regular spaghetti. Girl, my son was like, ew. I was like, and it was, you know how your spirit resonate with something. I knew why he was saying it, but I couldn't. And that's where we go back to these children knowing so much, right? I knew in my spirit, that's why my spirit was like, ha, ha, ha. I was giggly because my spirit knew what he was talking about. But at the same time, I'm like, how does little 13-year-old know about some spaghetti trick? You know, that's just how wise they are. He automatically was like, my youngest son was like, oh yeah, such and such and mama making somebody some spaghetti. And my son was like, who making? Ew. I ain't eating no spaghetti. You know, it's just crazy. Like,
you know, they get it from.
They hear they pay attention to us. They hear like the kids are very intelligent.
Where they get it from? The kids walk around with a smartphone, and we dumb parents.
Yep.
Because all we do is say, well, where you get that from?
Right.
They got it from their phone.
Right.
They get everything off their phone.
Yeah.
The phone is smarter than them.
That's true.
So they just go to spewing information that they recycle from the phone. And it's all a part of the world that we live in.
Yeah, because
one thing I learned about, I know a little thing or two about something in life. And one thing I know is that this world is progressively growing and changing in strength. And the way that we see things, if we only can see things the way that we see things, we're going to lack every time, especially when you're dealing with young people. Because young people...
Yeah, look at Amor, from the mouth of babes. That's 100.
I'm saying that right now. Young people, they tap into a different energy grid. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on Robux and all of that. All of them little things that they tap into, they sources of information, informational centers. So if you a parent that continuously look at your kid like where you get that from or how you get that, you got to step your game up because that's what they're going to do. The world is forever changing. It's forever growing. And it's not to be perturbed as a parent. It's to understand it's the world we live in. The only thing that you could do is set a solid foundation at home. And again, the Bible rings true. Raise a child up in the way that they should go. And as an adult, they will not soon depart from it. That's all you can do.
That's real. I remember we couldn't even wear belly shirts in school. Now they got everything hanging out. I mean, I'm like, dang, I go to the little football game. They, you know what I'm saying? They look my age and things. I'm like, shoot, these kids growing up quick, man. You know, so yeah, I think just be mindful. Like, our kids are so intelligent. They are so tapped in to way more than we even can comprehend. Just think about where you were as a child, right? I'll be having a breakdown how intelligent I was as a child, how you know, how strategic I was when I wanted to come up with some things to get around the system, right?
My old heads was slower than me at birth, I swear. I was 3 years old finessing all my old heads. By the time I was 10, it was over. Like, I was 10 years old, the baddest person in the whole environment.
Well,
and my grandmother used to be like, my grandson didn't do that. My grandson, that's not my grandson right there. That's not him. That was my whole energetic
Well,
signature.
I feel like we also come from a city where you have to be one up. Like, you have to, where we come from, you have to be able to have, our city is where it's motion, it's movement. You have to be able to, just be on it. So
much like most urban areas around the United States of America, it's so advanced, it's so full of social information. I'm telling you,
I don't know, cause
these phones.
I done been in the city and the country, and I could say,
The city is
if I
really-
would have grew up in the country, I probably would have turned out a lot different than I am. I'm very hard because of where I came. I had to be hard.
Yeah,
Where I'm from, if you're not hard, you're gonna get your ass beat. You know what I'm saying? And the people I hung around, I had to be, a certain way, or you ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
You can't just be out there and not have.
I'm a city boy, so.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I done ran all around Baltimore streets. I had to have some kind of toughness to me.
Nowadays, like I said, with the social exchange, it don't matter where you grow up. It's so much available to children. It don't matter. Like back then, when I was young, if you grew up on the East Coast, you didn't know what was going on the West Coast. Pretty much, if you grew up down south, you didn't know what they was doing up north. But now, thanks to our phones and thanks to
You got the city people
internet.
city people doing the clap your fans, and you got the country people doing the city dances. I love it. I love the country. I like the country. You're a country girl. I like the country. The country is where for people like me, in my city, I think the people, I think that the country is a place where you can come and retire. Sometimes I like the city life. Like, sometimes in the country, I'm like, I need a little action. I want to get on the bus, the MTA. I want to be able to walk to the corner store, right? So, it's a lot of differences. But I feel like, in these kind of environments, it's better for when you have children and you just want to be low key and calm down, right?
I like both of them. When I grew up in the city.
I like both too.
I grew up in the city, so when I was in the city, I feel like I was a lot sharper. Like
You gotta be.
Because I was always, in the amygdala hijack mode. Like, I don't know if you know what the amygdala hijack means, but it means like when people live in environments like urban environments, they always on awareness of. So that right there was one thing I didn't like. Always having to be, always sharp. And in the county, in the country, I feel like it's just, it's just the country.
It's just the country. I miss the 12 o'clock boys riding down my block and stuff.
You might get a little bit of that every now and then. You might get somebody riding.
Yeah, you get a little
two
excitement.
dirt bikes or something.
All right.
You might get a little wheelie here.
Okay, we love you, Amor. But yeah, it's time for us to go get some breakfast. Y'all know what time it is. Auntie gotta eat, okay? Time to get some breakfast. We'll be back this afternoon. Thank you guys for your love, your energy, your time. We appreciate you guys so much. Of course, if you would like to contribute to our channel, all of our information is on our page. Y'all know it's breakfast time, coffee time, breakfast coffee. Okay? So if you would like to contribute, all of our information is on our page. We love you, Bree. We connected to Bree. We love you. Hey, Mama Rose. We love you. We love you guys. Thank you guys so much for your love. Who's that? Corinne. I think, is that what it says? Am I saying your name? Or is it Kristen? I can't see. Your name is like a funny.
I think that's the one who said go.
Is it Kristen? I can't
Pete
see.
Grateful Dead.
Ebony, Empress, we love you guys so much. Who's that? Is that Janaea? I think I might have said your name wrong. I'm sorry. I can't. Auntie needs some glasses, y'all. I need some glasses. Hey, and that was the message. Hey, accept or rejected. Hey, but keep your spirit protected. Hey. Daily message. We love you guys so much. Remember, today is a good day. Hey, every day is a good day. Hey, we don't care what people say. Hey, but today is a good day. We love you guys. Hit me on my cell phone.